Alan Ladd, once the silent, brooding heartthrob of Hollywood's golden age, captivated audiences with his icy blue eyes and quiet intensity, becoming a defining figure of 1940s and 1950s cinema, best remembered for his unforgettable performance in the 1953 Western classic Shane. Ladd rose to fame as the strong, silent type, admired by men and adored by women across the country. But beneath that calm exterior was a deeply troubled man. Burdened by personal demons and the painful shadows of his past, born in 1913, Ladd's early life was filled with hardship. His father died when he was just 4 years old, and his mother, overwhelmed by grief and poverty, struggled to provide for him. As a young boy, Alan was painfully shy, malnourished, and so small in stature that he earned the cruel nickname Tiny from his classmates. It was in a high school drama class that he found a refuge, a way to escape the bleakness that clouded his youth. Acting became his sanctuary and, eventually, his salvation. After years of bit parts and rejections, Ladd's breakout role came in 1942's This Gun for Hire, where his cold and stoic portrayal of a hitman catapulted him into stardom. Yet, success brought with it its own set of burdens. Despite his rising fame, Ladd battled deep insecurities, especially about his height, which was just 5'6". Studios went to great lengths to conceal this using camera tricks, apple boxes, and carefully composed shots to preserve his commanding presence on screen. Off-camera, however, Ladd's struggles were much more difficult to hide, suffered from chronic insomnia, alcoholism, and bouts of deep depression. As the years went on, and the studio system began to favor a new generation of actors, Ladd's star began to fade. By the early 1960s, the roles had dried up, his public appeal waned, and he was left fighting for relevance in an industry that had moved on. His attempts at a comeback were largely unsuccessful, and his personal struggles only intensified. Then, in January of 1964, tragedy struck. Alan Ladd was found dead at just 50 years old, the victim of a fatal mixture of alcohol, sedatives, and sleeping pills. Though the official report ruled his death an accident, many believe it was the tragic end of a man slowly consumed by emotional pain, isolation, and unhealed trauma. He left behind a wife, 3 children, and a legacy wrapped in both admiration and sorrow. Today, while his name may not shine as brightly as it once did, Ladd's story is a sobering reminder of how fame can mask unimaginable suffering. He was a star who gave audiences heroes to believe in, yet never found peace in his own life. As Shane rode into the sunset, so too did Ladd, forever etched in film history, but quietly broken behind the scenes. Let us remember Alan Ladd not just as a movie legend, but as a man who, despite the applause, lived a life darker than most ever knew.